I was sipping coffee on my porch, watching the sun climb over the hills of Cedar Hollow, Tennessee, when I got the call that stopped my heart. "Your daughter's not safe with you," a man growled. And I could hear my girl, Lily, crying in the background. It was Greg Palmer, some guy in a fake cop uniform, saying he'd taken her from school on orders from the Cedar Hollow HOA president, Diane Ellison, who was hell-bent on painting me as a danger to my own kid. I stood there, phone shaking in my hand, a single dad who'd lost his wife 4 years ago, now facing a nightmare where someone thought they could steal my daughter, but they didn't know I trained Navy SEALs for a living, and I wasn't about to let them win. My name's Ethan Caldwell, 44. A former SEAL-turned instructor, teaching elite teams how to outthink and outfight the worst the world can throw at them. Cedar Hollow's my home, a quiet subdivision where I moved with Lily, my 15-year-old, to start fresh after my wife, Anna, died in a car crash. This place was supposed to be our safe haven, a modest house, a backyard where Lily could practice her photography, a community where we could heal. But Diane, with her polished suits and her HOA clipboard, had other plans. She'd been gunning for us since we moved in. And now she'd crossed a line that turned this from a neighborhood spat into a war I was ready to fight with every skill I'd honed in 20 years of service. It started 6 months back, when I found a red violation notice staked in my lawn like a warning shot. Non-compliant security camera and exterior lighting, it read, claiming my setup was disrupting community aesthetics. I was out front, still in my running gear, when Diane rolled up, her blonde hair perfect, her smile cold as a snake's. "Mr. Caldwell," she said, clipboard gleaming. "These rules protect property values. Your camera's a privacy issue, and those LED lights? They're not approved." Her sidekick, a twitchy guy named Ron Tate, nodded like a puppet, clutching a tablet. I kept calm, explained I was a single dad, still learning the HOA ropes, but Diane didn't budge. "You've got 72 hours to fix this, or it's a $600 fine," she said, her voice dripping with fake pity. Lily, always with her camera, snapped photos of the notice, her hazel eyes narrowing. She's got her mom's knack for spotting lies and my refusal to back down. That night, we checked our security footage, and what we saw made my skin crawl. For weeks, Diane, Greg, and Ron had been creeping around our place, taking pictures, measuring fences, even checking sightlines from neighbors' yards. One clip, from 2 a.m., showed Diane on her phone, and if you read her lips, she was saying Anna Caldwell, my wife's name, spoken by a stranger who'd never met her. Lily froze the frame, her voice quiet. "Dad, why is she talking about Mom?" I didn't know, but it hit me like a gut punch. This wasn't about cameras or lights. This was personal, and it tied back to Anna's old job at a real estate firm in Knoxville, where she'd clashed with someone named Diane over shady deals. I called my old CO, General Tom Hargrove, and asked for a background check on Diane Ellison. "Ethan," he said, voice low, "if your gut's screaming, listen. I'll dig." Lily, meanwhile, was already on her laptop, pulling up Diane's social media, old news articles, anything she could find. By midnight, she'd found it, a buried story about Diane's time at Anna's firm, where she'd been fired after Anna reported her for skimming client funds. The pieces clicked. Diane had followed us here, her HOA crown a tool to settle an old score. Lily looked at me, her voice steady. "She's not just mad, Dad. She wants to hurt us." I nodded, feeling that old SEAL calm settle in, the kind you get before a mission where failure isn't an option. The next morning, I set up counter-surveillance, watching the street from my attic with binoculars, spotting Greg in a fake patrol car, circling like he thought he was undercover. His uniform screamed mall cop, but the HOA decals on his SUV made it clear he was Diane's muscle. Lily hacked into the HOA's public server, I didn't ask how, and found emails between Diane and Greg, planning a welfare check on Lily, using fake CPS credentials. "Dad," she said, eyes wide. "They're coming for me." I pulled her close, my voice low. "Not if we get them first." We got a break when our neighbor, Dr. Laura Bennett, caught me jogging that evening, her face pale. "Ethan," she whispered, "Diane asked me to watch you. Said you had PTSD, that Lily wasn't safe." I told her no, but she's got others spying. I thanked her, filing it away. Diane was turning neighbors into her eyes and ears. Then Mrs. Ellen Harper, Ron's mom, slipped me a note at the store. Diane's dangerous. Meet me tomorrow. Ellen, a retired cop with sharp gray eyes, met me at her kitchen, her dining table covered in files. I worked 30 years with the FBI, she said. Diane's not just an HOA bully. She's tied to a missing developer, Carl Hayes, who challenged her old HOA in Knoxville. He vanished after threatening to expose her scams. Ellen showed me records. Anna's complaints against Diane, Carl's disappearance, Diane's move to Cedar Hollow right after we settled here. She's after you because of Anna, Ellen said. And Lily's her leverage. Lily's research turned up more. Diane had screenshots of Anna's obituary, our old address, even my military record. She's been stalking us for years, Lily said, her voice shaking but fierce. Ellen's files linked Greg to a shady security firm, Blackthorn Solutions, sued for illegal detentions. They've got our floor plans, Dad, Lily added, showing hacked files from Greg's cloud. My blood ran cold. This was no game. They were planning a strike. I called Hargrove again. Tom, Diane's got a rap sheet. Stalking, fraud, and she's hired Blackthorn goons. I need backup. He didn't hesitate. FBI's on it, Ethan. Stay sharp. Thursday morning, I drove Lily to school, spotting that same black SUV tailing us. I memorized the plates, noted the exits. My training kicking in. Lily hugged me tight. I've got my phone set to stream if anything happens, she said, her voice steady. Love you, Dad. I watched her walk into Cedar Hollow High, my chest tight, knowing we were on borrowed time. At 11:32 a.m., my phone pinged. Lily's emergency signal, then a text. Fake CPS at school. Going with them to avoid trouble. Track me. My world tilted. I called the school, got some flustered admin saying child services had proper papers. I broke every speed limit racing home, calling Hargrove. They've got Lily, I said. Voice like steel. I need the feds, now. Ellen was in my driveway, laptop open. I'm tracking her phone, she said. She's at Greg's place, edge of town. Lily's foresight saved us. She'd activated audio, streaming to a cloud Ellen accessed. We heard Greg's voice, smug. Your dad's done, kid. By tomorrow, he's in jail, and you're in foster care. Diane laughed, cold. Anna thought she could ruin me. You're the price for her betrayal. My fists clenched, but Lily, God, my girl, played it smart, asking, why Cedar Hollow? Why us? Diane took the bait. Your mom cost me everything. My job, my life. I made her pay, and now your dad's next. A confession, clear as day, recorded live. Ellen called her FBI contact. Agent Carla Reese, who mobilized a tactical team. I wanted to storm Greg's place myself, but Ellen grabbed my arm. Trust Lily's plan, Ethan. She's buying time. Lily texted again. They're moving me tonight. Feds need to hurry. I sat in Ellen's car, listening to my daughter outsmart her captors, my heart pounding but proud. By 4 p.m., FBI vans were staging 2 blocks from Greg's property, Carla briefing me. Your girl's a damn hero, she said. She's feeding us everything. Locations, plans, even their escape route. Lily's audio caught Diane panicking. Too many cars out there, she hissed. We need to end this now. Greg growled, vans ready. No one will find her. I gripped my seat, but Carla nodded. She's unlocked her restraints. She's ready. Lily whispered into her mic. Dad, I'm making noise. Get me. We heard a crash, Lily knocking over tools in Greg's garage, drawing them away. The FBI breached, silent and fast, as Lily slipped out a side door she'd prepped. Package secure, Carla radioed, and I exhaled, tears burning. They found Lily sprinting toward the perimeter. Her phone still recording. Greg was cuffed in his garage, yelling about rights. Diane was nabbed at her HOA office, shredding files, her smug mask on as agents dragged her out. The community meeting that night was chaos. Neighbors packed the rec center, stunned, angry, guilty. Laura Bennett sobbed. Diane threatened my practice if I didn't spy. I'm so sorry, Ethan. The Martinezes, who'd lost their shed to Diane's rules, admitted they'd been scared silent. Even Diane's loyalists looked sick, learning their leader was a killer. Carla revealed the truth. Diane was part of a crime ring, targeting HOAs, skimming funds, silencing threats. Lily's recordings, Diane's confession, plans to kill her, ties to Carl Hayes' murder, cracked it wide open. The feds traced $500,000 in stolen funds, linked to 3 states. Diane got life for murder, kidnapping, racketeering, Greg, 25 years. 6 months later, Cedar Hollow's different. Laura's the new HOA president, running it like a town hall. No secrets, no fines. Ellen's our safety advisor, teaching folks how to spot scams. The old violation signs are gone, replaced by a community garden Lily designed, with a plaque for Anna, for truth and courage. Lily's at Vanderbilt now, studying cybersecurity, already consulting for the FBI's HOA task force. We've exposed 6 more crime rings, saving dozens of communities. Anna's scholarship fund helps single parents. 52 grants so far, her legacy growing. I'm on my porch tonight, the hills dark, the garden blooming below. This fight wasn't about me being a SEAL. It was about Lily's guts, Ellen's brains, a town waking up. Diane thought she could break us, like she broke Anna, but she forgot. Families fight harder when you threaten their own. The Community Protection Act, sparked by our case, just passed, guarding HOAs nationwide. But last week, Lily found a new case file, 3,000 families. 8 towns, same pattern as Diane's. It's bigger, Dad, she said, her laptop glowing. They're still out there. I'm not scared, but I'm ready, and so's Lily. Where are you watching from? Ever had a Diane in your life? Someone using power to hurt instead of help? Drop your story below. Let's talk about fighting back, about protecting what matters, about making sure no one steals your home or your heart. Because we're still here, and I know you are too.